Hi everybody, it's Massimiliano Izzo again. This is the last demo about the XTENS-biobank platform. In this third demo, I will show you the capability of a system to search for samples and data. So we will perform a sample query, searching for the bank samples inside the system, whose histopathological diagnosis was neuroblastoma, which belong to these tissue types, so adrenal gland, bone marrows, and lymph node. And we want to search only for sample who satisfy the following requirements. So a microarray profile with a high expression of MECAN and hypoxia profile, and with a CGH analysis already performed, and with at least an aliquot of the same sample stored in the R2 biorepository in Amsterdam. We may be interested in this because maybe we want to share some information with the R2 biorepository, or we want to search for another analysis that we are going to perform. So we go back to the platform, we go to sample search, and here, as you can see on sample search, we have 5 tabs, one specifying the personal data, which only authorized users can see, then another one with the full neuroblastoma clinical situation, which is specific for our biobank, and then infos on the tissue sample, the RNA sample, and the DNA samples, where RNA and DNA samples are the derivatives of the tissue sample we are looking for. So as we said, we were looking for tissues coming from adrenal gland, from lymph node, and from bone marrow, with a histopathology of neuroblastoma. And then here we can search using the data types that we defined before. So we want to search, as we said, for a microarray profile with high expression of both MECAN and hypoxia profile. Hypoxia profile is a specific profile that we defined. So we can go to hypoxia profile. Here we can specify the level. This was defined just by us from a list when we define the data type. So we can do the same for the MECAN expression here and set this high as well. Then we can add a new parameter. In this case, we were interested in CGH profile. Here we are not interested in looking at any metadata fields. We just want to see that this kind of data was being recorded. And then the last was aliquot delivery. We want only to search samples that has an aliquot sent to the R2 biorepository. So maybe we want to look also for some other information, so some clinical information. We may be interested in looking at the MECAN status, for example. So now we go back here, we run the search, and this maybe will require, no, not really so much. And then we see that we have 4 samples satisfying our requirements. If we want, we can on the fly check some other parameters, such as the sample ID, or maybe I don't know, we may be interested in looking the diagnosis age of the patient, or the neuroblastoma staging, or maybe the clinical protocol as well. So if we go up, we can see that we have added these parameters on the fly. And then for some of them, we may check also the data that we have stored. And we see that for the sample 243, we have all this list of data already saved, such as a neuroblastoma microarray with a full list of metadata describing it, and we search the system using exactly this kind of metadata and also a file stored on the IROTS grid. And as well, we can verify that effectively we sent 1 microgram of RNA to the R2 repository for sample 243. And this can be done for all these samples, and this is a way to provide the clinician, but also the biologist, with an integrated view that gives you both the clinical and the genomic information on the same site. And then, if you want, you can also, let's say, see the files and retrieve, if you are authorized, you can retrieve the file from the data grid. Okay, so that's all. It concludes my brief demo explanation. Thank you for listening to me, and bye.